This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.
Let me get into a little Dolphins talk because I think that we've got and I've talked about this in the past that our past as Dolphin fans has clouded us. And look, let me tell you, I've been covering the Dolphins for over 30 years. And over the last 20, I haven't had a lot of good things to say much about them. I haven't had many moments that I really believe much in them at all, to be quite honest. You know, I might have gotten excited for a very short time with Jimmy Johnson and with Saban and with Parcells, but that quickly fizzled. I mean, quickly when I noticed what was going on, it was like, yeah, doesn't really done. And then all the other things that we can talk about from Adam Gase to Cam Cameron to Flo and whatever, all this crap that we've had here for years. And I've never, front office, all the mess that we had with Wanstead and Spielman and everything that we had going on with Ireland and Parcells and then Tannenbaum and all. I never really believed in any of this stuff, and over the years, I had a lot of Dolphin fans that would just get pissed at me because I just could not see any light at the end of the tunnel with any of that, right? And then now it's the reverse for me. And this is the first time in decades that I feel this way. And I am not going to allow the negative media, okay, because that's what we have. Unfortunately, the media is normally negative. The editors are normally negative. The producers are normally negative. The editors are normally negative. The executive producers are normally negative. Why? Because that's what gets headlines. They don't want to really put and to start the newscast, a fireman saving a dog. No, 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 no. They want to put a guy shooting a fireman, shooting a 9-year-old child. That's what they need. If it bleeds, it leads. And like I'm watching MSNBC, and there was like a little Bitcoin dip, right? It went from 24.8 to down to 23.8, 23.7. It's not much, But then I'm watching the headlines. What does this Bitcoin dip mean? Is it gonna go lower? What is this? What is this? Thing from the SEC? Is crypto dead? And then it was like 3 headlines, and they were all negative, right? And this is what it's all about. It's about finding the negative angle. It's about finding the negative side to a political story, or you politicize the story. It's about scaring people. It's this is what we do, right? And with the Dolphins, man, the whole thing is just about negativity. And to me, I think the Dolphins right now are all about positivity. That's the way I look at it. I'm sorry. I'm looking at it completely different than the average media person. I think the Dolphins are very close. I think the fact that they added Vic Fangio, who's now going to better that staff the way McDaniels bettered the offensive staff, I think you become an incredibly sexy destination for players, for agents. Not sexy because you're Miami, not sexy because there's sun year round, not sexy because you're a no tax state. Yeah, that's always been there. That's why Ndamukong Suh came down here. He didn't come because they were winning. When they asked him, why'd you? Well, the Dolphins are very progressive. That was his quote. Yeah, he couldn't talk about actual football because there's nothing to talk about. You have the number 1 rated passer. I don't care what anybody says. This kid can figure things out and he can stay healthy. This offense can be really special. And I know these guys and the front office are going to tweak what you saw last year on offense and make it even better. And I have faith. McDaniel's a smart dude. He's no dummy. He's going to see how many times he screwed up mismanaging the game last year, and he's going to fix that. He's smart enough to fix it. I have faith in this front office to shore up what they need to shore up. I have faith that they can move the money around to make it all happen. I have faith that Tua can stay healthy and figure things out. To me, the Dolphins are in the best shape they've ever been in since way back in the Shula era. This is a team that has all the potential to have great success. They just need to tweak a couple of things here or there. And more than anything, and I don't care what anybody tells me, for me, it was all about bad luck last year. Weird things happen, weird injuries. I mean, Tua normally suffers injuries, and it was all about head trauma, about falling the wrong way or getting slammed and all that stuff. And it's not something that he dealt with his entire career until this year. So you can figure things out, not just because of judo, it's getting rid of the ball early and all those things. I've talked about it. I've proved it over and over again that all his injuries come pretty much between 4 and 5 seconds of holding on to the ball. So you can avoid all of that stuff by not holding the ball for 4 or 5 seconds. And don't do it so much, because that's how it happens. It isn't only those specific times that he held it for 4 or 5 seconds. It's other times that he's trying to make a play, and sure he does. But again, you're also putting yourself and your body at risk. And it's really easy and it's really lazy by the media to always focus on the negative. And because of you, they do it. Because the negative is what gets you to read it. The negative is what gets you to watch it, and the negative is what gets you to talk about it. The positive stuff, you just cast it aside, dude. You don't care about saving the dog. You don't care that if they tell you, hey, this Dolphin offense is really good. Hey, man, Big Fangio is going to take the defense to the next level. Players are going to want to come play here for him. Why talk about the stuff that actually will not give you the same amount of clicks? Just like this rant won't get me the same amount of hits, reviews, or downloads unless I'm ripping somebody from the Dolphins for the next 5-7 minutes. Yeah, then I'll get triple the downloads. And that's really easy and lazy too. And also, it's manipulative because it's really not the truth. This is a really good team that got to the playoffs with almost nothing left. Okay? And they got that nothing, and they should have still beat the Buffalo Bills in that first round. So how am I not supposed to be pumped up about a team that was injury riddled, and if they were healthy, they would have won that game and they would have beat Buffalo 3 weeks prior to? That's the part that, to me, that's the part that pisses me off and frustrates me. That after all these years of a lot of bad stuff happening, last year wasn't about bad, it was just bad luck. It wasn't bad coaching all the time. It wasn't bad management. It wasn't bad ownership. It wasn't anything about that. It was about every terrible break you could possibly get. That's what happened to you last year. And I'm not going to allow that to cloud what I potentially feel is happening right now that I've never felt in the last 25 years. And I don't believe you should too as a Dolphins fan. Let me explain to you what's going to happen. Okay, I'm jacked now for this offseason. You got one of the best offensive minds in football. People are going to be excited to be a part of this offense. You got now one of the best defensive minds in football. Defensive players are going to want to be part of this. You got a QB that's a player. He's a winner. I get that he's had the injury stuff, but you can overcome that. But the bottom line is he's a player and he's a winner. You can't take that away from Tua. That's what he is, right? And it's so easy to lean on the negative. Now we got free agency coming up. These guys in the front office have done a marvelous job. Why can't they keep doing that? And you've got the draft coming, and I get you're not heavy on picks, but you still got your second rounder and your 2 third rounders. You can make some noise there and get some impactful players to help you out right away, hopefully, this year. The defense will be now on the rise. It's going to be a lot better than it was last year because you have one of the 3 best defensive coordinators in the last 15 years in this league. Now we got free agency. We got the draft coming up. We got Zach Thomas's induction into the Pro Football Hall of Fame. I refuse to allow anybody to create this thing like it's, you know, teetering on hell and all that, or it's going to be terrible. I'm terrified of the season. No, I am super excited. What happened this past year made me more excited about this coming season because last year's team got cheated out of what they could have been, out of pure bad luck, out of the fact that Byron Jones mishandled and I don't know if he even cared about coming back or not. I don't know. But then watching Nick Needham go down and Brandon Jones go down, and and we can go on and talk about all the injuries. It was depressing, dude. But it wasn't because they were bad. It wasn't because they were incompetent. It wasn't because they don't have good coaching. It wasn't because they don't spend or anything like that. And to me, that's what I want the Dolphin fan to look at. That this team had all the bad breaks. It wasn't that it was a bad team. And injury riddled and all, a young first-year coach took the Buffalo Bills to the brink in that first round. And if that doesn't tell you, or if that doesn't inspire you for the 2023 season, that if they add the right pieces and they get a little luck, that people stay healthy. I know you're going to have an injury or two, but not 15 injuries. I just think that this team, sky's the limit. And I refuse to allow the negativity that I see from the media on a constant. I don't care if it's the entertainment, music, crypto, sports, politics. It doesn't matter. They all swing the same way, dude. What negative thing can I write or talk about so I can get a response? So my editors and my producers are happy with the activity on the channel. Don't let them do that, man. Yes, sir.
No, I was going to ask you another thing too. Is with Fangio there, how much better of a play caller is that going to make Mike McDaniel, and then also Tua having to go against Fangio every day,
right,
in practice, and then also having Fangio help maybe possibly film. I'm not saying that's going to happen, but I mean it's there for them.
Yeah, no, definitely. And what's it called? McDaniel's not an ego guy. That's why he brought Fangio, because he doesn't have an ego. And so if Fangio, hey man, I'm noticing this. Oh, hey, thanks, coach. I appreciate that. That's the way he's going to look at it. What did Rosendo just say? Let me go back. You remember?
He's got a couple different comments in there.
No, but his one and only comment that he does during. Here he goes. He says, "May your sacrifice this Lent season remind you of your dependence on others, and for all the blessings you enjoy." And he is right. And it doesn't matter who you are; you're dependent on others. If you're the head coach, you are depending on your assistant coaches, your scouts, your front office, your players to help you and contribute to your success, right? Josh Boyer contributed last year by finding Kader Kohu, right? And developing him, by the way. So you got to be egoless if you're Chris Greer or you're Mike McDaniel, because that's what leaders should be. Leaders, you lead, but you also lead by allowing people around you to grow and be better, because that's how you're better, you know, and that's kind of what you have to do. So to me, there's a lot of positives, man. A lot of positives with the Dolphins. I just refuse to allow this negativity to cloud us.
This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.